Hey, what's up? Hey, we want to share with you how you can literally eat whatever you want to lose weight. Now, let me explain this real quick, because I'm not talking about donuts and things like that. What I'm talking about is, what if you woke up in the morning, instead of feeling like you wanted to drive through the McDonald's drive-thru and get a hash brown in the McSausage, McMuffin, McNasty, but instead you woke up and you were like, man, I'm really craving a good salad for lunch today. And I'm super excited to get to my egg scramble that I made and to smash my veggies at dinner. What if what you wanted to eat was the food that actually helped you feel and look amazing? So this video is about how to get yourself to that point. And I want to share a story. And this story is both of our stories, but with different details. We've got different details, but this is the same story for both of us. And the story goes like this. When we first started our weight loss journey, or, we wanted to look better, we wanted to feel better about ourselves, we wanted to feel like we had physical freedom, mental freedom from, our terrible relationship with food. At first, doing good, eating good was like having 6 donuts instead of 12 at one time, right? It'd be good, right? Okay, and then over a little bit more time, good was, having a bowl of ice cream instead of a bowl of ice cream with extra peanut butter and chocolate chips and like cereal on top, right? Okay, and then eventually after that, like, good became like protein pancakes on a Sunday morning with like nut butter, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then after that, good became like Kirkland bars, like protein bars. And the good continued to improve. And so right now, you may feel like you have such a difficult time wanting to eat healthy, and that's very normal. It's very normal. But our goal is to help you change your perspective so that you want to actually eat healthy things and understand that it is a process, but you can get there. Because if you would have told me 10 years ago that my bad would be eating an entire cup of nuts in one sitting, I would have laughed at you. Because that's not that bad, really, right? If you would have told me that my bad would be, what do I do that's bad? Like plantain chips.
With cottage cheese.
With cottage cheese. Like, okay, that's like the worst it gets. So if you would have told me that would be my bad, I would have not believed you. I would have laughed at you. You're out of your mind. I can't even go a day without eating a bowl of ice cream. That's where I was at. Okay, so I want to give you hope, but I also, we want to change your perspective to think about healthy food in a different way. And if you really want to, like, you can make healthy food taste good, but there is a way for you to desire healthier food than you're currently eating. And before I say anything else, because I've taken up half of this episode already, I would love to know what your thoughts are.
I think this might hit home differently for every person. And though this is something that we've helped a lot of people, like, to get to a point where they're actually craving nourishing foods, like in our community, like the term big ass salad is something that's really common, or just like protein and that sort of thing. Now, I believe that truly we all do want to eat better. We're just a byproduct of our habits. So if our eating habits right now are predominantly the habits that do not serve us, it is going to be really hard for you to crave like baked carrots instead of fries, or grilled chicken thighs instead of fried chicken, because
especially if they're not seasoned or if they're bland.
Yeah, especially if you're not used to it. Now, our palate changes. Something that I can tell you from my own life experiences, back in the day when I craved the bad shit, it was not because I didn't like the taste of clean food. By the way, if anybody says, I don't like the taste of vegetables or clean food, let me tell you something. You just haven't been taught how to make it right. This is something that I tell people time and time again. I feel very fortunate in the sense that I come from a place in the world where vegetables and clean food are made very fun and exciting and colorful, and there is a great variety.
Where is that place?
Yeah, I come from Israel, so like in the Mediterranean diet, like where I come from, like you will actually see like 10 salads on the table, like a carrot salad, a cucumber salad, a chopped salad, like a green salad, a tomato salad. Now, I'm not saying that this is what you need to have in your house,
but there will also be pita and baklava.
Yeah, of course, but like predominantly the food is a lot healthier. I do believe that in the American culture, love this country to death. However, American food is not the greatest for you, in my opinion. It's burgers and fries
it's not an opinion.
And pizza and whatever. So, if you've been brought up in a home where frozen dinners and, burgers
pot
and
pies,
fries
I'll tell you,
are a thing.
I grew up with it. Pot pies, Hot Pockets, TV dinners.
Yeah, so if you grow up in an environment like that, for one, your palate is going to need an adjustment, because your palate is used to like a lot of very processed sodium. So everything that you will be given will probably taste bland. However, there is a way to make it cleaner.
That's why we feel like we have to put ranch dressing on a salad.
Yeah, if you check out our description, I'm sure there is, at least one link where you can find, like our recipe ebook or something like that. Like, get your hands on it if you don't have it, so that you can start exposing yourself to clean meals that are easy to make, where you don't have to spend all day in the kitchen, that actually taste good. Erin and I, we're no chefs by no means. However, we're real people just like you, and we do like to have clean food that's also nourishing. It's very simple to make. So if you don't know how to do that, you can go ahead and do that. So for one, I believe that if you grew up in a home where, processed food is predominantly what's being served, or, your palate's going to be a little bit messed up. Now, I also believe that if you struggle with emotional and or stress eating, what you are going to be craving is predominantly, foods that are high in processed sugar, high in processed salt, so definitely not on the clean side of the spectrum. And that's why, if you were to ever join any of our coaching programs, that's why we don't just touch on the nutrition, we touch on the beneath the surface. Because we can tell you, instead of eating ice cream at night, why don't you have blueberries and apples and some Greek yogurt? Yeah, but when you struggle with emotional and stress eating, fuck that.
Fuck
because
apples.
When that craving hits, you're like, dude, give me the apple pie with the ice cream.
And you'll go out of your
with
way.
The cereal on top.
You'll go out of your way. I would literally get in the car, drive to the store, buy some bullshit, just so I could come back home and eat it. Usually, I'd actually be eating it in the car on the way home.
Yeah.
I would go, the conveyor belt of the grocery store would look like this. Half a gallon of ice cream, a couple candy bars, and a fitness magazine, because I wanted to motivate myself to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Made myself feel better about eating what I was just about to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, like there's a lot of the beneath the surface, and, the real point to take away is, like if you struggle with stress and emotional eating, whatever you choose to do, work with someone who can help you to, uncover the cause that is making you go for that comfort food. Because you can know all the things, you can have all of the recipes, but let me tell you something: if you're not hitting on what is causing you to want to go for that thing, or how do we change your behavior around that over time, you're gonna keep on hitting the same wall over and over and over again. So
I want to say too, like if you are interested in having help from us, you can always, or even if you just have any questions, you can always email us at support@erinandsarit.com, and somebody from our team will connect you with the person that will help you figure out what you need.
Yeah.
Okay, just open the conversation there.
Yeah.
That's support@erinandsarit.com.
For sure. So, we gotta uncover that, and really from a mechanical standpoint, other than uncovering that, because otherwise you're gonna run into it like time and time again. It's almost like walking up a staircase, like what Erin said. Like I remember, for me it was like, okay, like when I used to have cravings, I would crave like a lot of chocolate and that kind of thing. And then like, I was like, I uncovered the shit of like, why did I stress eat? Why did I, like emotionally eat? And then like I went for, things that were a little better. So now like maybe I went for like, all natural peanut butter instead of like, like a whole jar of Nutella. So I was consuming less sugar, but meanwhile, the behavior was still there. Or, like maybe I would do like protein ice cream instead of like...
We went through a Halo Top phase too.
Yeah. So, the reality is that, if you've been in our community, you've probably heard us say this before, that this is a journey of progress, not perfection. But, it's about mechanically working through the progressions and also behaviorally uncovering what is currently standing in your way. We can physiologically, like, do all the workouts, provide you all of the nutritional information, but at the same time, if we're not also executing a progression from a behavioral change standpoint, then you're going to find yourself running into that situation over and over and over again. Because the reality is, what is a craving? That is your body telling you that it needs something. Okay.
Or it wants something.
Yeah. And, really, if like, let's say if it's like I'm craving a really like fresh salad. This is your body telling you, I'm craving nutrients. I need nutrients. But if you're like, I'm just craving like chocolate or whatever, like this is your brain telling you, I need more dopamine, I need more serotonin, probably because it's missing in your life, because maybe you
don't do anything fun.
Yeah, maybe you're just depleted, or maybe there is currently something that's standing in your way that triggered you that you haven't confronted, right? So like your brain will want to distract itself by craving for that thing. So
that's the easy way too.
Yeah,
like that's the easy way to get your body what it's saying it needs, but not what is actually helpful.
Yeah, so know that cravings are signals, and whatever you crave, like in the sense that it is not something productive and more destructive, chances are it's because you are filling a void from something in your life. And maybe it's an obstacle that you need to confront, a trigger that you need to confront, or something that's causing you negative stress, anxiety, or anything like that we do need to uncover. Okay, so We know that it's a lot to unpack. And wherever you may be in your journey, think about, okay, like, what is one better way for me to, clean up whatever it is that I'm currently craving? Okay, so like, let's say if chips is your thing, okay, maybe take like an entire bag of carrots and stick it in the oven so that the next time you end up going for, like a whole lot of chips, at least you're eating carrots that are baked instead of like, like fried processed potatoes. However, like, know that if we don't treat the cause, I don't want to sound like a doctor because we're not no MDs by any way, shape, or form. However, there's definitely some,
Deeper. There's some deeper.
Yeah, there's something deeper to that. If we don't treat that, you're gonna find yourself running into the same thing over and over and over again. And let me tell you something, like if you are constantly craving chips, like 1 pound of baked carrots a day is going to eventually like make you break and lead to something else. So, for your long-term success, we got to make sure that we uncover the behavioral part, while at the same time doing the best that we can by asking ourselves, okay, like, what is one better way for me to currently implement whatever it is that, I'm craving or running myself into?
Yeah, I want to give you an in-between step too. Maybe instead of like the whole bag of chips, it's a better version of a chip. Maybe it's air popped popcorn from your own house. Something that's just better than that, right? There's steps to it. And you said something important. This is a journey of progress, not perfection. This is also a journey of self-love and self-respect. No? Because what's the purpose of losing weight? What's the purpose of us trying to eat better? At the end of the day, we all want to just feel good about ourselves. We all want to feel like we can look in the mirror and be happy with who we are. And so, I want to offer a change in perspective for the way that you see food. And, maybe this will be helpful to you, maybe not. That's okay. I'm sure something in this video is helpful for you, or at least I can hope. Every time you eat food that is harmful to your body, some kind of fast food, fried food, processed sugar, anything like that, would that be respectful to your physical body or disrespectful to your physical body? And now, look, I'm not saying you need to be perfect and never eat any of those foods, and that there can't be good things to those foods, because sometimes it's about the community that you're eating it with. Sometimes it's about the experience, right? But usually that's intentional, and we don't have to feel bad or guilty about that. Now, if it's unintentional, or if it's just happening all the time, or mindlessly, you watch a movie and you start eating a bag of Cheetos, and then all of a sudden the bag of Cheetos is gone and all you have left to show for is an orange freaking hand all the way up to your wrist, you feel bad because you didn't plan on doing that. You just mindlessly, numb to what you were doing, ate it. So if you thought about your actions as being respectful or disrespectful to yourself, would that change the way that you behave? So the next time you consider, oh man, just got done with work, I'm really hungry, I know I have prepped food in the fridge, but I'm too tired to heat it up. Or I just don't feel like it. This Taco Bell I'm about to pass sounds a lot better. The next time you think about pulling into that fast food restaurant, or the next time you think about, when you go to a restaurant, ordering dessert when you told yourself you weren't going to have dessert, think about, am I respecting myself or am I disrespecting myself in this moment? And sometimes just that thought will create a different decision.
I agree.
For you. Because if this is a journey of wanting to feel happy and good about yourself, I would imagine that self-respect and self-love will be a part of that. So can you truly say that I'm loving myself when I go against my word? If I say I'm not going to have the dessert, but I do. If I say I'm going to eat what I made for dinner that's in my fridge, but you stop by fast food on the way home, or you order a Uber Eats or something from a junky restaurant. When you don't stick to your word, what you tell yourself is, I can't trust myself. And so when you think about making those decisions that feel like they go against what you really believe and what you truly deep down want to do, just stop for a second. Is this respectful or disrespectful? And if you answer that honestly, it could create a different decision just by default. And then you'll feel really good about that decision without feeling like you're having to battle yourself. Because you're like, no, dude, I want to go to bed tonight feeling like I respected myself. And so it could simply be that. So this whole thing of progressing and doing better and choosing self-respect is part hope and belief in yourself. We know that you can do it because we've been terrible ourselves. We've been absolutely disrespectful to our bodies, to our minds. We've yo-yoed. We've been overweight. We have had disordered eating patterns, all of these things. And we've made it to where we are. You absolutely 100% can. Yes, I believe it. I believe in you. It's going to be part-time. You're going to need to give it some time. You didn't get to where you are. Sounds super cliche, but you didn't get to where you are overnight. You're not going to get to where you want to be overnight. That's okay. That's all right. You can get better overnight. That's for sure. You can also get worse overnight. Which direction do you want to go? And the third part of this is your perspective. Am I respecting myself or disrespecting myself?
Yeah.
So hopefully that's helpful for you on your journey to desiring and craving the food that helps you into a body that makes you feel amazing about yourself. That's all I got.
Okay, so vulnerability is something that's also a big part of you, just keeping it real and finding growth in this journey. So let's have a moment of vulnerability, and I would love it if you could drop in the chat, what is your go-to thing that you feel like you either crave or, you have a hard time controlling yourself. And you know what? I was just thinking about one thing that I used to have very often that I used to there was just no control around it. By the way, Trader Joe's makes the most incredible treats. And there were a couple of things from Trader Joe's that it's just danger zone for me. And it was, for one, the peanut butter cups. For two, the cookie butter cups.
Oh,
Have you ever had
butter.
The dark chocolate cookie butter cups?
I never had the cookie butter cups, but I had the cookie butter.
Okay, so imagine that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I've had the cookie butter ice cream.
And then there were the coconut covered, chocolate covered almonds. Those is just one serving, and it's called the whole thing, and
the whole bag.
Listen, shit's I share this with you because shit like that is real.
Look, if we're asking you to be vulnerable, it's only fair that we first are vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I can share something that happened recently for me.
What?
So we went on a date, went to a restaurant, both had a great meal, salad with protein, whatever. It's great. And then we went to Sprouts, and I got the yogurt. I got the yogurt covered pretzels.
Oh yeah, you did.
I got the yogurt covered pretzels. This is something I haven't even had in a long time. If you hear something that sounds like an old man snoring, his name's Boogie. But I did recently, and rarely do I feel guilty when I do things like this anymore, because it doesn't happen often for me anymore. And so I understand that one time is not the end of the world. If it continued and I kept eating those things over and over, or it became like a weekend habit that turned into like a more than a weekend, then there would be
story.
something, I would concern myself with and be like, okay, I need to make some changes. But yeah, that was recent. And I'll tell you, it wasn't planned. That's why it's something for me
weird.
it's it's hard for me to feel super vulnerable anymore, because I feel like I've shared so much that, it's like, it's okay for me now. Yeah. But, that was something that I've done recently, is I went and I got a bag of, like, from the bulk section of the yogurt covered pretzels, unintentional, didn't plan on it, and just ate the whole bag. Oh, I also got with that some chocolate covered, some dark chocolate covered cherries.
Oh yeah, did you
And
finish
almonds.
that?
Yeah, I did. Right? Those were unintentional. That was all on the same night. And I did not finish all of the chocolate that night. But it was unintentional. That's the point. Like,
Yeah, so the point of sharing this with you too is that, like, have some grace with yourself, because let's say you've been at this for, it's something that I hear way too often is, I've been doing this for a year, I should have been better by now.
we can do a whole episode on I should have and I should be.
Yeah, like, stop it with the I should have and I could have. Point is, do your best today. And, the reality is that if there is something that you used to struggle with, everything that you want to solve will be 10 times harder and will take you 10 times longer. So just do the best that you can with what you've got. Pick a better than choice and make it a point to work on the beneath the surface stuff at the same time, so that you don't keep running into the same thing over and over again. Because if you find yourself craving chocolate or craving something that quite frankly doesn't serve you every single day, there is something else that we need to explore that's more than just a better than. And because you're only going to go so far. So,
and again, if you do struggle with that, or there's something that you don't know how to get past and you just want help, just shoot us an email, support@erinandsarit.com. Just open a conversation, and it might be an easy solution, something that you didn't think about. It might be something where it's like, hey, let's have a chat about it. So, anyways, that's the episode today. Hopefully you like this. If you're listening on podcasts, it would mean the world if you went and rated and reviewed this podcast based on, your like or dislike, I suppose. But if you listened to the end, hopefully you liked it. That's torture if you didn't. And if you're watching this on YouTube, and you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe if you like the vibe. I made that up on the last episode, and I liked it. Subscribe if you vibe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.